Hey, good morning, fourth grade. Welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. Um, yeah, it's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's the last day. So what you gonna do? Fourth grade, it's on you. I know you're saying it right now. Okay. Okay, now let's bring it back. Um, so I just wanted to just shout you all out, fourth grade. I don't know what you guys ate for breakfast yesterday morning, but your work yesterday was phenomenal. Like it was great. Um, I know it is tricky seeing an experiment in front of you on a video and then hearing my voice explain it as well. I know that's tricky, but the fact that so many of you were stepped up to the plate and just did really great work. Oh my goodness. And let me just say, your do nows from yesterday had me rolling on the floor from some of you. Like your answers about how much pizza you can eat, like the amount of time you get. Oh my goodness. You guys not only made me hungry, but you made me laugh out loud a lot. So thank you for that. That was really funny. But so getting into today, there is a lot of shout outs that I want a lot of friends to shout out. Um, if your name is not up there, don't feel bad. You did amazing work as well. I noticed yesterday morning when I logged into Google Classroom that there were a lot of friends that turned in their work after I already made the video. And I wish like I could also, those friends definitely sending them that my love as well. That could also be a reason why you're not in the shout out. It's just because I made the video. It's like what? It's like after 4 on a Thursday, making the video for you guys for today. But just know I am seeing your work. I love your work. Your work is great. So let's take a look at the shout out some friends from yesterday. So I didn't put the homerooms. There's too many kids' names right now to be putting homerooms. And if I did have the same name, you have the same first name as somebody else, I did put your last name initial. Cool. So Joshua, Michaela, Ava, Jada, Emily, Zion, Logan, Jadir, Benji, Nevaeh, Garvin, Taisha, Emery, Joshua, Aleem, Alyssa, Leah, Jesse, Star, Athena, Brianna, Brene, Rebecca, and Brandon. Shout out to those friends doing a really, really great job yesterday. Just their short responses to seeing that the lab on a video and just like the way that they interpret that and were able to express it was just really wonderful. And shout out to those friends that haven't been on the shout out list but then just now made it to it, which is really great to see some new friends. Yeah, definitely keep it up. I want to see more new names on it next time. So our big question for today is, how do fossils and other rock layers get uncovered? And we've had this as our big question for the past couple of days, and we've seen it through our simulation. We've seen it through our experiment model yesterday. And today we're actually going to be going back and looking at some of our readings from the Rocky Wonders, but more focusing on the hazards and focusing on just seeing those going back to those readings and seeing like how those hazards affect everything else. But before we get to that, I want to just jump back to our experiment from yesterday, the erosion model, with our sand and our buckets. So when we had the water start with the longer time, we started the timer for 2 minutes. We first start with longer time. The water's running through the sand. Remember, the sand represents the rock. So the water's going through the sand, and then it's the lower bucket down here. You're seeing the eroded rock from there. Then a minute goes by, and then I'm going to start my shorter time. The water starts going through the sand, and then the timer stops. My bad. The timer stops. It's been 2 minutes. Now, because the longer time the bucket that started first, we see that it has more eroded rock because rivers or the water that's been flowing for a longer time has more time to erode the rock, while the one with the shorter amount of time has less time to erode the rock. Thinking back to our do now from yesterday with the pizza. We were talking about how many you can do in 1 minute, I believe, and some friends said a certain amount of slices. Some were more realistic than others. I'm just saying, I said be honest, and some of you guys were talking like, oh, I could eat the whole thing in a minute. Okay. But what's it called? So, but thinking about how much pizza you could eat in 1 minute compared to the amount of pizza you can eat in 4 minutes, the amount that you can eat in 4 minutes is a lot more because you had more time. The same thing is with the river, with the water and the buckets. So the one that the water started and you had the longer amount of time, you have more eroded rock. Just like with the short amount of time you had for pizza, it's the same thing with this. So you started with less time for the water here, and you had less time, which means that there's less eroded rock. See, there's a reason for the pizza yesterday. I know I got hungry looking at it too, but there was a reason for it because most of you like pizza. If you don't, I'm sorry, but okay. But with that, just having that idea of just the amount of time, how much it takes, how much pizza we can eat within a certain amount of time, also can help us realize how much of the rock can be eroded because of the water. Okay, so up to our next thing. Yes, I know I have this word again, and what's the word? Erosion. Yes, come on. And this time I want you to make sure that you're saying what that word means. You might want to pause right here, write it out. You might even want to draw a picture of what that might look like. So, because sometimes, like I said yesterday, you see it, you say it, you write it, helps you remember it. But then also sometimes, drawing out what that looks like is also very helpful for you to realize what does that word erosion means. So if you need to do that, or you think that's the best idea, or you want to be that rock star, and then you want to send me what that looks like, be my guest and attach it to your work. I would love to see it and give you some extra effort credits for that. So that's up to you. If not, erosion means when rock, soil, or sand is worn down and moved from one place to another by water, wind, or ice. We've talked about our key takeaways. These are here for you just to review. Remember that we can't see these rock layers that are underneath us, underneath that surface or the most current layer, until that rock gets eroded away or gets exposed. Now, it can get eroded or exposed from wind, water, plants, and ice. And remember that fast rivers erode the rock a lot more quicker than the slow moving ones. And then we also know that the longer amount of time that the water's there erodes more rock than a shorter amount of time, which is what we were talking about yesterday. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I have attached inside of our lesson each of those 3 readings of just the hazards part from our Rocky Wonders. If you want to, go back and read the whole book, that's cool. You can always log into Amplify if you need to, and then take a look at those, the book. But however, for today's lesson, you really only need to be reading the parts about the natural hazards, the sections for each of those. And you're going to then pick what are some of those natural hazards that are caused by water. And then you're going to talk about choose one hazard caused by water that you read about and how does it happen, and what natural hazards do you think could happen near a river. Actually, nope, I took that part out. I just said what could people near a river do to stay safe. Yeah, I switched the question up just a little bit, just so what I wanted to hear from you. Now, remember, if you do have any questions, I want you to make sure that you reach out. But remember that when you're thinking about a natural hazard, right? Um, a natural hazard is something that, like, that could be like a earthquake, or is it a flood, or is it like a volcano? Like, what are different natural hazards that could happen? So if you're thinking about that, right, you want to think about while you're reading is like, what are these natural hazards that are caused by water that you're reading about, right? Okay. So if you do have any questions, please make sure that you reach out, call me, text me. Yeah. I'm very excited to see your work. I know there's going to be a lot of friends to show shine to. Even if it is showing responses, I still want you to make sure that you are, you know, giving me all your information. And if it's easier for you to write this out and then send me a picture of your writing, that's fine. You may do that as well. Till next time, guys.